Hey folks, just a quick little disclaimer here. I was afraid that making these videos, playing records, in their entirety, might have some copyright concerns. So my video's been flagged, and so to not get sued, I have to remove the songs, which kind of sucks because my guests and I were speaking during the songs, so you're gonna kind of miss some of that conversation. And but it's fine because you can still listen to the audio on iTunes and Stitcher and those other podcasts, the platforms. So you can still hear that dialogue because some of it was really cool, some of it was really fun. But for the YouTube videos, at least, I'm gonna have to cut the songs out, but I'm gonna still leave the segments near the end, especially where I get the close-ups on the actual record. So if you're interested in seeing what those look like, just tune into the end. Pay closer attention to the end, but tune in for the remainder of the guest too, because he's such a great, interesting guy, and we had a very cool conversation. So thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so how do we start this thing? I say, hey, welcome to the show. We're gonna have some fucking bullet right now.
Yeah, awesome.
And so I guess I don't really have to say much about who you are, but your name's Dan St. Jacques, right?
Yep, that's me.
So Dan, you want to tell the people out there a little bit about yourself? I mean, because I know who you are. You're a good friend of mine. We can share some whiskey on that one.
Right on. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. Thanks for coming.
You got it. Oh, that stuff's smooth, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's just what I needed for this to end this
Awesome,
night.
awesome.
Yeah, man. Or to get it started, I guess.
Yes. All right. So who am I? Dan St. Jacques. Well, as far as this is concerned, probably I'm a local musician from Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, and if no one knows what bands you are or have been in, you've been in a fucking shit ton of bands.
I've been in a lot of bands, man. Well, I've been playing for just about 30 years now in town.
Yeah.
So, it all started with Sourpuss.
Sourpuss?
Yeah, it's Jason Tatro and Joe Propatere from Scarce.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like
Awesome.
1990. We'd open up for, the Liars, the Boston band, or, we played with a lot of grunge stuff in the 90s. We were, 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Started in 1990.
I vaguely remember that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Because the next thing you went on to was what? I wanted to ask you, did you do the Hydrogen Terrors at all?
Yes, but that came out of Von Ryan's Express.
Oh, okay. Von
Which
Ryan
was,
came first.
yeah, right after Sourpuss. That was like 92.
Mm-hmm.
92 to 93, something like that, 94.
Awesome.
It was a side project with John Von Ryan and Jeremiah Ryan from Six Finger Satellite.
Yeah.
And we got a 45 out on Sub Pop.
Right.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Through Jay,
Yeah.
And then that morphed into the Terrors once John split, and we got Nikitosha on the drums.
Yeah.
And then it became the Hydrogen Terrors. One member different, but we just decided to change the name.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah,
it's like a new member. It's like a new feel.
Yeah, out of respect for both of the people,
Yeah.
both drummers.
Yeah,
they're
I
both
can't
awesome.
stand it. I can't stand it how bands like change the singers even.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's
no,
totally,
we're the same band.
Yeah, totally different. Like
Yeah, it's just like it's not. And then you got that fucking riff now with the fans, right?
Yep, yeah, because there's the people that like the early shit, don't like the later shit.
Right, don't like the new member.
Yeah, that's happened to me. I played bass in Six Finger Satellite on one tour and did one record with them.
That was the most recent one.
Yeah. But everyone kind of at the time didn't like whatever they were doing. When they added all the synths, everybody's like, "What's this shit?"
Yeah.
And then then they love it. After the fact.
That was a hard sell those days, huh?
Yeah, seriously, man. I know this is like way before all the retro stuff. Awesome. Yeah. After the Terrors, Olneyville Sound System started in '96.
Yeah.
And then landed.
Yeah.
And we got some shows coming up.
You do?
We're opening for the OCs, New York City.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Nice.
2 sold out nights. Thursday, Friday, 17th, 18th of October.
Damn.
Next week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then the 20th in Providence. AS220.
So that's opening for the OCs?
Not in Providence. In
No,
Providence, it's in Heat, finished, and then landed, headlining.
Awesome.
But the 2 gigs in New York City at Warsaw the Polish American Club in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and the Flying Lutenbach is opening. So that's kind of crazy.
That's right. That's
I mean, I heard their new shit is insane.
Really?
You know, their arrangements and their technical ability is crazy.
Really? Yeah, they've been around for a fucking second.
Yeah, Skingraph, you know, Weasel Walter. It's like really cool, like blast beat, like free jazz stuff, but it's
Yeah.
all hyper arranged. Like, I'm gonna go out there and sound like cavemen.
That's all right, man. That's what you do.
That's what we
like.
do, man. Yeah, we're psyched. John Dwyer asked us. You know, he played in Landon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in '97, like the first record or whatever.
That's
He sung
awesome.
that one. Yeah.
That'd be like a nice little reunion, huh?
Yeah.
And a big fucking show too. Sold out.
Exactly. Yeah. Already, because them, you know, we
Yeah.
just did, you know, added as the friends.
Yeah.
But we're psyched for
But
that.
you guys
know?
are fucking awesome, just as good. You
Thanks,
know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, different.
You're gonna give those guys something to see. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
You know that.
That's what John's thinking. That's something to look at, right?
Yeah. That's a
It's gonna
tough
be
one.
pretty-
Big booking the shows, right? You're like, you know, hey, we can book Landed, but they might upshow us, man. Or show us up, you know. But they're our friends and we love them and they're
Exactly. We might do something.
awesome. Yeah, fuck it, try it. You know, have them come out, just fucking
Yeah.
do a show.
So I'm psyched for that one.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, after that, Vincibus Eruptum, The Fuzz, Extinction Machine,
Jesus.
the Hot Knives, the Hammer Party. That's the newest band.
I have,
It's
you know,
pretty
I gotta
good.
be honest, I haven't even heard some of these bands.
Oh shit, man. Well,
Like,
yeah, I'll send you like the Bandcamp links or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, it's
absolutely.
post-punk stuff. Some of it's like, you know, it's all the same stuff to me, man. It's
Yeah,
all
it's all rock and
rock.
roll.
It's all rock, noise rock, hard rock. You know, it's funny because when OSS plays gigs, like it totally, who we're playing with that night. You know, we're playing with a bunch of hardcore bands. We're the noise band. You know, we play with indie rock. We're like hardcore, or something. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like, you know, it's all over the place. We play with noise bands. We're the rock and roll guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It depends on like what kind of show it is, but we still get asked to play like all different stuff, like
Yeah.
you know, from reggae and jazz to singer-songwriter stuff, like heavy metal, punk, you know, whatever.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
It is. I love
Yeah.
that, like how it can just be so diverse like that.
Yeah, we
you
can
know?
go anywhere and just be like, you know, two weirdos like freak show or something, sideshow.
Yeah, you know,
You know?
I haven't seen you guys play in fucking forever, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've been
No, that's
busy
alright.
with the whole fucking life.
yeah, man.
But,
But we're psyched. Yeah, 22 years, still going, man. And Landed too now. That's like, you know, just 1 year behind. 97.
but you guys have had a couple lineup changes, right?
Oh yeah, Landed was always like a collective.
Right.
It's like the core members, me, Sean Greenlee, Dr. Sean Greenlee,
You
and
thought,
yeah,
nice.
and Joel Kayak. And then we've added like along the way, you know, it's Neil Burke from Men's Recovery Project, Born Against. We've had tons of people in town.
Just
You
sitting
know,
for
Rick
the night.
Pelletier has been playing with us forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or just like, you know, tour or record or, you know, a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Whoever's available, Stephen Mattos, you know, Chippendale, Gibson, all the guys, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's always a different like incantation every time
Yeah.
you go out there and play.
Yeah,
So like if people come see you, they don't even know what they're gonna see. For the
pretty
most part.
much, yeah, man. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
improvisational and it's
Yeah.
fucking spur of the moment.
Matt Brinkman, Jeremiah Ryan, who else? Yeah, a bunch of people,
Do
man.
you think one night you can just get all of them together?
That
for
would be
one
sick. It would be
session?
like the 20-piece big band, Landed big band.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
It would be
I thi-
amazing, I'm
I
sure.
think that'll probably happen, man. Maybe like in, you know, 2030 or something.
Shit's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
All right, so maybe I should.
So that's who I am,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
What I've done, what I've did
Still
to
doing.
myself. Still doing, exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly, still doing it.
I admire it, you know, fucking getting out there and doing it. No, actually, that reminds me. You aren't planning on doing any touring? Like, are you going to tour at all?
No, we're just doing those 2 shows in New York and then Providence.
Yeah.
And everyone's got to fly back to, you know, LA, New Jersey,
Yeah, we're
you know, Tiverton.
Take the late flight.
Exactly.
But I mean, like even in the future, like maybe with
I hope
with
so.
Olneyville sound system, if not Landed.
Yeah, I've gotten to, you know, do some really fun stuff. I hope to do
Over
more.
the years you've
yeah,
toured, right?
yeah. We OSS did Europe back in, you know, I don't know, 2012 or 13 or something. It was a while ago, but
Yeah.
that was really cool. Then we did played South by Southwest, and we did the whole California thing. Played with the OCs and the Coach Whips, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, Coach Whips reunion. So yeah, I definitely hope to do more. Hopefully with the Hammer Party.
Yeah.
You know, that's the new thing.
So who's in the new Hammer
It's
Party?
Andy Newman from Glaze Baby,
Okay.
and John Croach from what are he playing? Tongue Dynasty with Josh Yell, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, some of the shit he does, like a noise thing. Oxomo.
Okay. I've heard of
Played
it.
in Hot Knives. He was the drummer in Hot Knives.
Yeah. Oh,
But we started last Halloween as a big black cover band. That's why we named the Hammer Party, like the first EP or whatever.
yeah.
So now we're doing original shit, but we still carried over the drum machine. So it's just drum machine, guitar, bass, vocals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's like big black style.
Yeah.
So it's kind of industrial, kind of like post punk.
Right.
It's really fun. We got to open for Holy Cow a couple weeks back,
Oh, yeah.
which is like a big like 80s, New Bedford like industrial band. They were like, New Bedford's answer to like Bauhaus or like Swans or
Oh,
something.
really?
Yeah, they were cool. They were weirdos, man.
I remember them being around. Like I remember seeing the name
Yeah,
around a
real
lot.
gothy,
Yeah. I never got to see them. I was in a different band at the time, but I remember like getting like sharing bit like the fucking the newsletter for the Baby Head or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, seeing the
Holy
name.
Cow, and
Yeah,
see
yeah.
your band's name in there.
Exactly, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome.
And I always saw them, but I never heard anything about them.
Yeah, they're cool, man. I used to see them in the 80s.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, and that guy was a performer.
Really?
Like he'd come out from under the stage with his face all bloody and stuff, and like he had a big anvil on stage and he hit it with a hammer, and like
Jeez.
yeah, like they were weird. Yeah, they were cool.
Oh, and so that's coming up soon?
No, that we just did it a
You just
couple
did
weeks
it?
ago.
Fuck, alright.
But yeah, we're getting to play some cool shows.
Yeah. Well, if that happens again, let me know.
Oh, yeah,
Because
man,
I'm not
sure.
in the loop as well as you
Yeah,
might
yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Fucking-
man.
You move out to the sticks and you
I
just
know,
lose
you-
contact. Fucking horrible. But so
Yeah, I still
wanted
try to check out bands once a week, couple times a week.
Yeah.
I still check out a lot of different shows, all different styles of music.
yeah. I know, and I would love to too, but like
Yeah.
I don't have enough
Oh
time.
yeah, of course, man. I definitely didn't. Years ago, I found some more extra time, I guess. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's important to you, I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
It's important to me too, but I just like sometimes I bite the bullet on it, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what? I don't want to drive half an hour
Hell
to the
yeah,
city,
man.
and after I've already been like working all day
Exactly.
and shit.
Yeah, man. No,
But,
I understand that. I'm lucky enough to just still live in the city.
Yeah.
So I don't have to drive very far. And I'm
Right.
doing sound now. It's like I'm like what I mean, getting paid to watch shows.
Yeah, that's actually a great gig, just for that reason.
Exactly.
Then you don't even have to be like, oh, I can't get there. Just like I have to be there.
I have to be there. And like now with the iPad, like in the Behringer X32, it's like you can be anywhere in the room, walking
Oh,
around
yeah.
with the faders and everything and dialing it in.
Oh, I didn't know
pretty
what kind
cool.
of like technology they had.
Yeah,
over
it's sick, man.
That's awesome.
You got to come down to dust some night.
I
Doing
want to
sound.
tonight. My fucking friend's playing tonight.
Oh, dude. Maybe we'll have to stop in there later.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I've had a long time. I was thinking about texting him a message, just being like, "Hey, man, I know your show's tonight, but something
Yeah,
else
yeah.
came up, and I'm just not gonna be able to make it."
The Marsha Brady. Something suddenly came up.
Yeah.
What was that, Jan?
It's no excuse though,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
fucking we had to reschedule from last week, and I wasn't gonna be like, "No, Dan, I gotta go to
Yeah,
this,
no, I gotta go to this show. My buddy's playing. Oh,
Yeah.
but I would have been like, okay, we'll do it next week. Like, I would have been fine.
No, but I wanted to get it done. I wanted to get you.
Yeah, man, you've been sitting on this record, man.
Fucking crazy, man. Yeah.
It looks like a pretty beat up copy too.
It is a
man.
beat up copy. What do you think? What do you think about a beat up copy?
I think a beat up copy is fine, man. This record's like from 1973 or something,
Yeah.
right?
I already pulled the
Oh.
sleeve out, so
Nice.
just
Okay.
yeah. So this copy's banged up, and I know it. You
Yeah.
you can tell me and everyone else what you think of it.
I think it's awesome looking.
So that's a first pressing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sick, man.
So you know the details about the first U.S. pressings for Raw Power. By the way, that's the record I'm featuring tonight. Iggy and the Stooges, Raw Power.
Raw power. Nice.
And obviously I have the most suitable guest in Providence because the shit you do and the shit that I know about you and what I've seen of you, like you bring Iggy to mind, like when I go to the shows.
Well, that's some big shoes to fill, but thanks, man.
At least on a Rhode Island level. If
Yeah, man. I get it, man. I love that. You know, his energy was just he just had it, man. And like, you know, when you're up there, that's what you're doing. There's nothing else happening. You know what I mean? So you fucking better do it.
Yeah. But the way you do it, because it's just like a complete fuck you attitude about everything, like almost even reality.
Hashtag Dilligaff.
Because
yeah, man.
I don't know. I can't remember the first time I saw you perform, but I know it was something back then, like in the Munch House or in
nice.
Shit, man, what was your warehouse called?
Red Rum.
Red Rum.
No way, awesome.
Yeah, because that was the turning point in my life. Was that what was that? Late '90s or 2000s.
Right on.
And I was like a young, late teen, early 20 person.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of pigeonholed in my own life.
Yeah.
Where I loved music. I was a musician. I was playing out.
Yeah.
But I wasn't playing where you guys were playing.
Yeah.
We were playing a completely different style of music.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how I got introduced to somebody in one of those bands. Like the one that sticks out to me was Eric Paul.
And they brought you down to a different joint on the other side of town.
Yeah, I was working a side gig, a little part-time job with Eric Paul. That's how I met him.
Right on.
And I didn't know anything about him. I knew he was in Arab on Radar.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the name, kind of like, holy cow. I was I see it in the paper all the time. I'm hearing about him.
We toured together.
And I haven't listened to him. So,
and then you were like, what the fuck?
He told me to come down to a show. He was just like, you want to come see us play? I was like, yeah, sure. Where are you playing? He was like, we're playing at the Columbus. And this was when it was still the Porn House.
Oh, yeah.
And,
was that did OSS play that one? Arab on Radar?
I don't remember that.
Six Finger Satellite? Arab?
I don't think it was that one.
Right.
Because I don't think I spoke to you guys.
Yeah. That one was crazy.
I don't know who else played that night.
Yeah. Was it the one where they were all hanging? They had like effigies of themselves, like dummies made up. It was like Halloween, but they were all like on ropes. Like, that was crazy, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's on their video.
Yeah,
their DVD.
Yeah, that's from that show.
Yeah, I don't think it was that show. I don't remember if it's before or after that. It was the first time I was seeing them.
And you were like,
and those guys, like I didn't know everyone else in the band. I just knew Eric, and just from talking to them,
Steve Mattos.
Yeah, but I was just like, and they're the sweetest guys.
Yeah, friendly neighborhood, the Whole Foods guy. You know what I mean? Like,
he's the best.
Yeah, man.
And he's so friendly and down to earth. But I didn't know him.
Yeah.
So I went to go see him play, and I remember like sitting first row because I usually like to get in front, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?
Is this even music?"
I told Eric, I was
like, "What the?"
The first time I saw you, like, if I had not known you and I didn't talk to you, and obviously I don't know the rest of the guys, I'm like, I was watching you, and I honestly thought to myself, these guys, I think are special ed.
Yeah.
They're like special needs. Like they're seriously damaged. Like people playing fucking rock music.
That might be true. I can say that because they're my buds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is unique, you know. But they come from a long line of that kind of music. You know what I mean? Like people think, you know, that whoa, I've never seen that before, you know.
Right.
But you know, Teenage Jesus and the Jerks, like there's all kinds of post-punk and like awesome shit you can find, like back from the '70s. With starting with this guy.
Exactly.
Like there was no one, like the Who, like, you know, whatever, they knocked over their drum set and had like, you know, temper tantrums, you know, break their guitars and shit. I don't think Ron Ashton ever broke a guitar. Never saw that. But I know Iggy fucking threw himself into it.
Oh yeah.
And off, you know, out into the audience.
Right. That's what I was seeing with you guys, because they turned me on to this whole fucking freak thing that was happening in Providence. I was just like, I gotta see more of this.
Yeah,
so
right on, dude. It's like rock and roll revival.
Yeah.
You know, like
absolutely.
Every 10 years, there's always a different one, and it's a lot of garage rock and stuff, which is awesome. I love that shit. But yeah, then there's like the freak rock or whatever. It just goes a little further. Right. To me, it's the same. You know, it's still rock and roll. It's just
dangerous.
Yeah, it just, you know, takes away the blues pattern or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like 3/4 of a blues lick turned around and then broken.
And just blasted.
Yeah, exactly.
Just blasted at you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's kind of what I love about this record, because so what?
Yeah, let's put it on.
I gotta show off the details of it too.
Oh yeah, the sleeve and the pictures.
Yeah, so if you don't know what a fucking first pressing looks like, it's because of the red print,
Mm-hmm.
the little Columbia I symbol, the KC, the serial number KC32111. So, but the problem with this fucking thing is that it's a little banged up. But I'd love to know. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like holding this fucking record. I was like, man, the fucking drugs that must have been done off this thing.
The joints that were rolled, man.
Yeah.
Do you see any? Is there any stickiness on it?
No, actually.
Yeah, the cocaine on it.
Luckily,
Who knows,
luckily
man?
enough, it has no sticky residue or anything like that. But
I got a few
it's
of them.
worn. It's got the fucking ringwear on it.
Yeah, it's got the total ringworm, man.
So whoever it was that previously owned this thing, it looks like they took off the sticker, like off the fucking poly.
Yeah, and then put it on there. That is
Put it on
cool.
here.
That is some fan shit, man.
Yeah, right.
They cared about it.
Yeah, and it's surprising how well they got it off.
Yeah.
And just stuck on here.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
And it's been there since 1973,
Right.
which is the coolest part about it.
Yeah. Now, how do you like records? I mean, like, you're obviously a big fan of vinyl records.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You have a bigger collection?
I don't know. I have like maybe 1,500 records. I got like 20 crates of records.
Nice.
I don't know how much that I never counted it.
Right.
But I have, I have stuff from when I was a teenager, all the punk stuff that I bought, when it came out.
Right.
And then I have, banged up copies that I found at yard sales, Salvation Armies. I have stuff that I bought online, because
Yeah.
I looked for it,
Right.
and tried to get a decent copy. So I've got like everything.
So how much searching do you think you do to like buy a record these days?
Not much, man. I
So
haven't.
you know what you want. you
Yeah, I
just
go to Analog Underground. I go to Armageddon. I give myself like a $50 cap at both spots or something.
Yeah.
And like I do that, I don't even think once a year, but
Right.
I definitely have slowed down.
Yeah. Well, because they're so fucking expensive. these
Yeah,
days.
and when I was a kid, like I was just buying them all the time.
Yeah.
Through my 20s, that's when I amassed my collection.
Yeah.
It was my 20s.
And what do you think was your best find? Because obviously, you would go to a yard sale,
Oh,
garage
yeah,
sale,
yeah.
fucking thrift store,
Yeah.
and stumble across something. You dig through a crate somewhere.
Yep.
What was your most favorite
okay. My first apartment in Providence, I moved in 1990, 107 4th Street. It was like a block from Merriam. And this guy had a yard sale next door, a neighbor I never met. African American dude, probably in his 40s. And I was like, 18, 19. He had John Coltrane Ascension, he had The Last Poets, he had like
Well,
Funkadelic,
yeah.
America Eats Its Young,
And you think these
Gatefold.
were original pressings?
Like, yeah, I got like the guy bought them when they came out, and like, I don't know if he had CDs or he was just getting rid of his records, and like,
Maybe the wife said, hey, these gotta go.
yeah, and I like, they were all different, but like in that vein of stuff that I already loved, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, yes, like stuff that like was hard to find. There was no internet, and it was
Right.
like 1990,
Right. You kind of stumbled across it.
Yeah.
And that was it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no online shopping for the most part.
Exactly, or like a copy of Vince Avissa Ruptum Blue Chair at the Salvation Army, something like that.
Yeah.
You'd find it, but they'd be a little banged up, but you didn't really care.
As long as they play it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It didn't matter.
So, by the way, can you pick that record up and just kind of look at it, just kind of see what you think of it?
Nice, sounds right.
Not yet.
Actually, man, it doesn't look too bad.
I mean,
I thought because of the sleeve, the way that thing's been pulled in and out of like a bunch of records
right.
for years. That's why it's got that ring.
Mm-hmm.
But this actually looks. I think it's got some couple big ones, scratches, but
Yeah.
barely noticeable.
I don't think you're gonna hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
doubtful.
because I've tried it already. And,
Yeah, looks pretty clean, man.
Yeah. Well, I did a good cleaning of it myself. When you clean your records, how do you clean your records?
That disc mate or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
The
it's
old
just a
school.
dry
Just
brush, the micro
yeah,
brush.
yeah. I just do that.
You don't use any kind of like liquids or anything, like any of those polishes?
It came with that little.
Oh, okay, that like little lube or whatever. it
Yeah.
is. Lubes up the
I
brush.
might could do a couple drops on there if it's really dirty or something.
Right.
Usually just dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just brush it and then dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just brush it and then just blow it off, blow the needle off.
Yeah. But what if you found like a one that was like really dusty, like fucking came out of a basement?
Oh yeah, yeah. Then I don't know, I don't know. Does alcohol eat away vinyl? I've never really.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
And actually, that's what I do.
And you always just dilute, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just dilute.
Yeah.
I would say any kind of astringent would work. Maybe hydroperoxide. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like bubble up and shit though.
Yeah.
Yeah, rubbing alcohol. Aren't most cleaning agents like
alcohol
based? You
Yeah.
know. So you just dilute it, and then just kind of lightly dampen it.
Right.
Dampen cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of people like taking skips out of records by putting them in the oven for like,
Ooh.
you know, that's a dangerous game. Man.
No.
That's a slippery slope.
I would have to practice on
Yeah.
some shitty record.
Yeah, man, it'd be like all of a sudden the thing's just like,
Yeah.
you know, melted
Yeah.
fucking Velveeta.
No, and just,
No thanks.
just ruined.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I that's what I do. Actually, I've been doing like a wet listen even.
Yeah.
So my first listen is a wet listen.
Whoa.
Like
Yeah.
I'll clean it with alcohol, like a half and half
Yeah.
solution, and then yeah, I heard this technique that like if you have a record that's like a little crackly,
Mhm.
just give it a wet listen. Just use that same solution. It's a half and half
Yeah.
alcohol, distilled water. You spray it liberally on
Yeah,
top,
yeah.
and just like just use your finger or like I use a little brush there,
Yeah.
a little soft brush, just to kind of
Clean it.
just level it
Yeah.
out, and then you put the needle right in it.
Well,
Yeah.
it just plays right over it like
Yeah.
liquid.
Yeah.
Maybe it's smoother. Maybe
Well,
it
it takes
smooths
out
it
some
out.
of the crackle, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that what it does is it like gets in the grooves,
Yeah.
and then the fucking stylus comes right, just chugging away right through it,
Yeah.
and just picks away at some of that really deep,
Yeah.
dark, grind.
Yeah, that's
in the
cool.
grooves.
That's a really cool technique.
So,
To
so
give
I did
a
that
shot.
to this.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna listen to it dry.
Nice. So second listen.
Yeah. So, do you mind? Because you're on that side.
Oh man.
Oh, just bring it over.
Is it? Can't see it. Is it more? A little
A
more.
little more, a little more. Yeah, I dropped it. See it? All right, let's give it a break there. For a
Yeah,
second.
man.
So, I have my first raw power listening was I think it was '98. They did that reissue and that remix.
Yep.
Iggy remix
Oh
of
yeah,
himself.
yeah.
That was my introduction to raw power.
I don't know what that one sounds like.
Well, I only had it on CD.
Yeah.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
have vinyl at the time.
Yeah. But I bet it's clear.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, this was clear. No crackle. I didn't hear that. Very little of it. especially
Yeah.
when
That
it's
record's
fucking
clean,
rain.
man. You can see some visible scrapes, but you don't hear them, man.
Yeah. No, I get a lot of those where it's just like, I don't know what you call it even, because it's like, you hold it like in the right light, and then all of a sudden you can kind of like see this weird
Someone just like
sheen or
dragged the.
something. Yeah.
Someone dragged the needle over it,
And
and
all
it
those
just.
little nicks.
Yeah, it just made a line, but it didn't.
Right.
The integrity of the hull was not compromised.
Yeah. No, it's like, I guess what people say is like if you can feel like the scratch,
Mm-hmm.
then it's probably a bad one.
Yeah.
But if you like put your finger over it,
And you
like
don't feel it, then it's just visual.
Exactly. Then
Right,
sometimes you'll hear a pop, like if a scrape goes right through a few grooves, and you
Yeah.
kind of hear that, kind of
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
that chronic, just like little, something like that. Yeah. Or it literally just hits that one spot.
Yeah, it's like when your brake pad is just like, you can almost hear that rotor going
Yeah.
in your car. Yeah. Hate that.
That's the worst. But yeah, and so speaking of the mix, so on that release, it was already fucking loud as shit. Like,
Yeah, in the red for sure.
Yeah, Iggy even said on the back, it was like, his little like tag or whatever. It's just, it's a raw mix. It's a real raw mix. Everything's in the red. And it's just,
Awesome.
the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
That's what I said
exactly.
about it.
Awesome. That's cool.
But yeah, what's his name? James
Williamson.
Williamson was the guitar player for
Yep.
this record. And,
Yeah.
I actually heard an interview with him recently
Oh.
about this record.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because he only joined for this record basically.
Yeah, he wasn't an original Stooge.
Right.
Ron was the guy playing bass on this record.
He was
Is the
guitar
real
player.
like brains behind the Stooges.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as like the riffs and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were fucking getting annihilated on fucking drugs and wasted and just strung out. And were actually, by the time Bowie asked them to produce the new record, they were trying to get sober, I guess.
Yeah. It's too
Like
late.
from my foggy memory of this
Yeah,
interview
yeah.
I heard.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, and so they were trying to play it legit at this point, and it still came out like this, which fucking blows my mind. I'm like, what?
It's funny because the electric stuff, you know, the stuff they did with John Cale, and then the guy out in L.A., DeLucci, like that stuff's like pretty hi-fi. It's like very clean and crisp and clear.
Yeah.
But it's John Cale, you know, Velvet
Yeah.
Underground. It's like it's on Elektra. It was like big, you know,
Your budget.
yeah, and big like, you know, people that knew what they were doing, like in charge. You know,
Right.
this was a free for all. You know, those guys went into the studio and Bowie was like on tour in Europe or something, and they just went at it, like you said.
Yeah, but then so Bowie, what he
came in and tried to what he thought fix it in quotes. You know what
just
I mean?
mixing.
Yeah, just
Not
like
like he wanted
boosted Iggy's voice
Right.
and the guitar, and then just kind of bumped the Ashton brothers down.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like those were the guys that were kind of, you know, I don't know, probably ripping it like, you know. And I don't think Ron ever did the hard shit. You know, I don't think he was.
Yeah.
He was more like the musician
Right.
guy.
But
you
the
know?
whole thing was falling apart either way.
Yeah. I don't
because-
think there was any saving the Stooges.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bad drugs at the end there.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's kind of why, like, the original stuff is kind of like the tightest stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, maybe, I don't know, this one has the aura of the punk rock thing, you know? But the first two are they're pretty punk too.
They are.
Yeah, and they're raw, but just in a different way. More like in a hi-fi, like, you know, Dave Alexander was still alive, the original bass player.
Yeah.
You know, they were just like, they were originally called the Psychedelic Stooges.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, you know, weed and beer, you know. I don't think like any heavy shit had gotten into the mix yet.
Yeah.
And you can, you know, the music's more like that.
Yeah, I wonder if that had anything to do with it, because like thinking about Funhouse, that one's been on my mind a lot.
Yeah, that
lately.
record's sick,
Just
man.
the way it opens up, that dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
So in the pocket.
Yeah.
That drum is so laid back, but it's
Right.
so tight.
And
It's like
just
both.
hard.
It's like
you can tell he's
mellow,
fucking
but
just
heavy.
slamming it.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
heavy, but it's mellow. Like,
Right.
you know, it's
There's
laid
got a
back.
groove to it.
Yeah, that's
This
sick.
is not that, you know.
No,
like,
this
is
doesn't
more,
really catch a groove. This one's more like just, but it's cool because it's got that weird energy to it. You
Yeah,
know? There's a
yeah.
couple like really stoogey, like, you know, there's some moments in it that you can really catch the first, you know, the efforts of the first band come
Right.
alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the song Raw Power kind of has that weird hook in it, and Death Trip, the last song I think, is pretty stoogey.
Yeah.
That one's I think my favorite on the record.
All right. Well,
That
we'll
one's-
pay attention to
Yeah,
that, man.
yeah.
Go ahead and drop that
when it
needle.
comes up.
Yeah, listen to the next song.
Yeah, man.
What's it called now? Go ahead, just drop the needle.
Drop the needle.
Give me danger.
Yeah, give me danger. It's like the
It's everywhere, man. You just. Yeah, so you can hear that reverb in that.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, something about the fucking music that makes you cry. I've been known as that guy for a long time.
Yeah,
like, that's
it
how
just
people-
hits your
Yeah, but it's just something like, so I was thinking this morning, I was just like, you know what? I haven't really felt sad lately. Like everything's been like pretty cool, like
Yeah.
everything, like being
Yeah.
here in my house and like working and the kids and all that stuff. I'm just like, I haven't like been sad in a while. Actually, you know what? I haven't been drinking.
Maybe that's why they say alcohol is a depressant.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I used to like have, well, back when I was a fucking young, insane person,
Yeah.
I would drink fucking. I think I had a problem.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
you
6,
probably did.
7
If you think
minimum.
you had a problem, you probably
6 or
probably had a
7
problem.
minimum a night.
Yeah,
Every
wow.
night of the
Gee,
week.
oh my god, dude, I've never done that.
Yeah. Oh,
Hell
shit.
no.
All right, so maybe
That's all right, man.
I have my
Teach
demons
his
too.
own. I mean, you know, I definitely like, you know, smoke weed every night.
Yeah. And that would well, I would do that too. But,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. Maybe
But
that's
you
it.
was that when you were working at Trinity?
Did that before then.
Yeah.
Like just being in the band. Like
Oh,
when I
yeah.
was a high schooler.
Well, that's the
I've been in the band
lifestyle.
since I was 15. So
Yeah.
It's like,
There you go, man.
I wasn't drinking a lot then.
Yeah.
But as soon as I hit 21, it was just like.
Game on.
Yeah. So I was experienced by the time I hit 21. So I was like, it was.
Yeah,
this
you
is
already knew
easy
what was
for me
going
to
on.
do. Yeah, I think I can manage this, and then, so I managed for a long time. But yeah, I've chilled out a lot. So
Right on, man. You enjoy it more.
I I
right?
do. Yeah.
I've taken, yeah, I mean, I remember experimenting in high school and as a teenager early on and just being turned off by getting so sick and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
doing too much and then coming back to it and then like, you know, starting off slow but then getting, you know, crazy at it, you know, but just like here and there, like, and then just being like, all right, I'm all done for a year, you know, and then
Yeah.
coming back to it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
had this like love-hate relationship with it. So
Yeah.
luckily I've, you know, kind of kept it at bay.
That's good.
I got
Obviously
the-
better than me, so that's good.
When I got divorced, I definitely like went out, you know, a few times a week, you
Yeah.
know, and got kind of buzzed, you know,
That's
more
it.
than I did when I was younger and stuff. But,
Right. Well, that seems well earned.
yeah, exactly.
What else do you really do?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, alcohol is a funny thing, man. It's
It can
definitely
be.
strong. It's a, you know, it can be a hard drug when used inappropriately. It becomes a hard drug,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I think I have the proof of that. But I'm all right now. But so I wasn't sad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Not
So you're like,
sad.
what? Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I was at work and I usually would like put earbuds on and listen to music or podcasts or something, and I was like, shit, I haven't been sad. And you know what? I think I really want to listen to Johnny Cash.
Awesome.
The American recordings.
Oh yeah, the Rick Rubin shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
guy.
think it was 5.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which
05.
one it was. No.
Oh, 5.
Because there was the
A
whole
bunch of
series
them.
of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
I think it was the 5th one. But it had Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yep.
And, like fucking Hurt. by
Yep.
Trent
And he's
Reznor.
and at that point when those were recorded, he was old.
Yeah.
He was an old
You can
guy,
hear it.
and you can hear it. And his voice shaky and kind of like, yeah, it's cool.
It's
Rick
cool.
Rubin knows how to do it, man.
Yeah, and I heard actually they made tapes, and I think he might release them. I think I
Whoa.
heard something about him considering releasing it.
Whoa, like interviews and stuff.
No, like fucking demoing
Oh,
prior
that
to the
stuff.
record.
Yeah,
He was
awesome.
just hanging out with Johnny.
Yeah,
And
he
it was
was
just
like,
like, Johnny, just play me some songs.
Yeah,
you know?
play the
and he would just
guitar.
have his tape
yeah,
deck right there, sitting like
yeah.
you and I are.
And it probably sounds just as good as the recordings.
Even if it didn't,
Yeah,
just to hear him
Yeah.
with his guitar
And
as an
doing
old
it,
man.
yeah. and doing it like on the fly.
Yeah,
Awesome, man.
just doing covers, like just old country covers.
Yeah, yeah.
like
Songs that you
he
never heard that he never did.
Yeah.
You know, that's
and it's just
great.
the songs that he would obviously play every fucking day or whenever.
Yeah, yeah.
all the
Because
time.
that stuff gets passed down, and you just
Right.
play it for the sheer enjoyment,
Right.
whether no one's listening or not.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was a motherfucker.
He
man.
was, man.
So yeah, those songs, man, like really fucking hit
Yeah, they
me.
can do the tear jerk.
Yeah, I'm like walking around and it's like everyone's, there's the crazy crying mailman. All right,
You have your
Yeah.
earbuds in, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, sometimes you listen to the mom.
Man, sometimes it's
Listen to
just a
the mom.
TV commercial, man. We all, you know.
It could be anything these days.
Everyone who's alive has been through stuff,
Yeah.
and it reminds you of something or whatever.
Right. But yeah, but music's got that fucking power.
Hell yeah, man. I get like, they say there's like two kinds of people. People that when you hear certain music, it gives you the shivers or makes the hair stand on your neck or whatever. And then sometimes that doesn't happen to people,
Yeah.
but it definitely happens to me.
Sad life, those guys.
I don't know, man. Yeah, that don't get it. Music's definitely like, when you hear something crazy or awesome
Right.
or whatever, sad, emotional.
Yeah.
You definitely, I get the willies sometimes. I get a shiver, like, ooh.
Right. Do you
Or,
ever do you ever feel embarrassed for an artist? You
Oh,
ever hear a
I'm
song that
watching-
makes you be like,
Yeah, like, oh man.
why did they
Well,
record that
it's
song?
usually when you see it performed live and you're like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
But I'm
That
sure
could just
I've
be a
been
bad
I've,
band.
I've probably been that guy. I don't know,
Like,
to
if
someone
you-
else maybe, you know what I mean? Like he's sticking his tongue out or like, why is he doing that?
Oh, he's
you know?
running around on fire.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. I mean, I would never like, pull my pants down or anything. But I
I
definitely.
mean, if the evening calls for it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
This
What-
guy
what
definitely.
situation?
This guy did it. I've seen some bands. See David Yao pull out his junk.
yeah.
But yeah, that's not my thing. Man. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I don't get it. No nudity. And
Yeah, no nudity,
no
man.
defecation.
Yeah, no, none of that GG
No
Allen.
bodily fluids.
Yeah, no. Maybe if a little bit of snot or spray happens
Snot,
because
spit,
of
and
yeah,
blood.
yeah, and yeah, that
Those can
happens.
happen.
Those happen by approximation or
Right.
they just happen, but
Yeah.
not like no defecation for sure. Oh my God,
Like
I
you-
I had chances to see GG Allen, from a teenager into my early 20s, and I
Gave it
always
up
said,
every time.
I just was like, no thanks, man. All set. Like, who goes there knowing like maybe I'll get fucking poop thrown at me? I don't know, man. I think I'm all set. Yeah. Or like, I'm all set with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I like horror movies, but I don't really like torture porn. I don't like Saw. I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the first one, but like, I don't need to see any others. Like, some stuff you like, and some you kind of like. Nah, I'm all set.
Mm-hmm.
Beheading videos on YouTube. I don't really do that. You know what I mean?
You're right.
The guy getting, fucked by the horse.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't like need to. Yeah, dark web shit. I'm all set with. Some people really dig it, man.
Right.
But, to each their own,
Yeah. I can hear you on the Gigi Allen thing. Like.
Yeah, he just turned me off, man.
Yeah.
I always thought.
But he's got a following. Like, I mean.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I love the documentary. That Hated in the Nation.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I don't think I have.
Dude, it's fun to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not there and like. Having to be there, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's definitely like something. It's part of music history, and that's what makes it cool.
So
at the
we
time,
can see it through those brave souls at the time that were like, I'm gonna pay to see him.
Yeah.
Hang out there, and some other guy paid to come in with a camera.
Yeah. I mean, he'd like seek people out that were trying to hide from him and stuff. You know what I mean? Like there was no like, hell no, man.
That's horrible.
No thanks.
Yeah.
But the Jabbers, man. I mean, his first band, they were definitely.
Jabbers?
Yeah, Gigi Allen and the Jabbers. Like, before he went like crazy, he went to jail, and that's kind of when he went real bonkers.
Oh, really?
The early band is more like a Boston. I mean, they were from New Hampshire, but they might as well have been like a Boston new wave band. They were like new wave punk rock. They weren't like hardcore or anything.
Yeah.
And that stuff's kind of cool. It's kind of catchy. It's kind of like. The Cars with an Edge or something.
Yeah, I mean, hardcore music's fine. I mean, I'll get into some of that.
Oh yeah, I love the Boston
stuff. And stuff like
yeah,
that,
all set.
Like, yeah, okay, I'm
yeah,
okay.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, I'm sure he just maybe took, what this guy thought he was doing, and like I'm gonna do it further. Oh, I don't know what he thought, man.
Yeah.
But that definitely.
Maybe didn't think at all.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that thing that's in you,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, that was exactly. This is what and I mean, I'm guilty, but yeah, he had to do that. That's pretty out there, man.
Yeah.
That is very out there.
I guess that's why those few people that were there had to see it, because they were like, he's fucking preaching himself.
Yeah. He wasn't doing anybody else.
Right.
He was doing him.
Right. Well, he did a few others too, just kind of, as bystanders.
On stage, I think. Yeah. Oh, they did him? I don't know.
No, they were like just casualties, just fallout from the fucking thing that he was doing.
Yeah.
Alright, let's play this next song. Oh shit, I just knocked it out of place. We know what it was last song. Side A? Wonder. That'd be cool. If anyone out there does that track isolation,
grab it.
We're requesting Iggy Pop's Raw Power.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Alright, conclusion of side 1.
Nice.
Do you want a side 2?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'll get you some rocks.
Yes.
Just have to avoid your cord. So I didn't know how much you knew about the history of that record.
You mean more or less? Or
No, I didn't know if
less
you,
or more?
how much you knew about the history, because obviously you knew about the controversy of the mixing.
No, yeah.
So, you obviously know the band lined up, the band's history, things like that. So,
Yeah.
So how do you feel, have you ever listened to the first pressing of this record?
Yeah, I had friends that had it. I think that was another Salvation Army Fine that my buddy Jay Tatro got.
That it was
My
the
band
original mix
was-
though? Because I don't know when we switched over to a different mix.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Was it some point in the 80s or was it the reissue when Iggy did it? Like, I don't really know. I know, there's a copy. I have a beat up copy that I think has a gatefold. I want to say.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
that sound right?
I'm not
Maybe
sure.
it opens up and it has another picture inside or something. I don't know. I
If
might be
there
making
is,
that up.
it'd have to be a later pressing.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be
exactly.
the
That wouldn't be
70s.
this one. Yeah.
No.
Maybe I might be making that up.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but
I could look it
I
up.
mean, I definitely had, friends that had, found the Salvation Army copies. Like that's, before eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
If you didn't go to a record store and spend $20 on a classic record, you just thoroughly search through Salvation Army and you'd find, I know we got this one and that, like I said, that Blue Chair record, the first one, and a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. You won't
You know.
anymore though.
Not anymore.
I check them out
Yeah,
all the time. and I'm
no.
just like, yeah, there's
That's
nothing really
gone.
good here.
Just like you're not gonna find cool clothes anymore. When I was in high school, in the '80s,
Yeah.
I found the best bell bottoms and like '70s clothing
Mm-hmm.
because that was the time period. It was the '80s, and now it's the 2018s or whatever. You're
Right.
gonna find stuff from the early 2000s or like it's garbage.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find like cool
Nothing
stuff.
quality. Nothing
Yeah,
quality.
yeah,
made.
just not like the style, whatever. Everything's
Right.
you're not gonna find like, yeah.
Yeah,
It was awesome stuff when I was going to like Salvation Army in Woonsocket and
Oh,
'87 when I was like 16 years old. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. That was 3 levels.
Yeah, exactly. The furniture on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was cool, man.
Yeah, I've been there recently because we actually bought our couch we have.
Nice.
Yeah, because friend of Jess's from work was just like, yeah, I just got this couch for like $20,
Hell yeah.
and he's just like, it's like beautiful, it's brand new, and he was just like,
Oh,
hey,
the
that's the
Salvation
Salvation Army.
Awesome.
And so we did. And,
That one's cool, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while, maybe a couple of years, but
Yeah.
I always pop through.
Yeah.
I grew up there in northern Rhode Island.
Right. It's better when you're just popping through and just
Yeah.
like going every now and then. Like if you go often,
Yeah.
you just see how
The
everything's
same.
getting picked through and like
Yeah.
whatever they get, like whatever they bring on, it's just like, oh, this is kind of gross. So, but I don't know. That's that. So you, yeah, I don't buy clothes anymore. Do you buy clothes?
Not really. I mean, most of my friends' bands give me T-shirts,
There you go.
and that I wear the T-shirts of the bands with my friends and stuff. And,
Right.
every once in a while I have to, grab some Levi jeans or something,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
Yeah, I
Pack
wear
some
those.
underpants once in a while. But
Which
yeah, I
is
don't
like
like.
4 days out of the week or something. And I might
Yeah.
wash 'em.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, right. I have like 3 or 4 pairs of jeans, and I wear them like that covers me for a month.
Yeah. We're easy people.
Exactly, man.
We're trying to be more sustainable. So
Yeah, it's more like recycling. You know what I mean?
No, it's,
I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
still
just,
pick
like,
through.
lack
I
of
go to Savers
resources.
if I can find a brand new pair of like decent Levi's at Savers for
Right.
$5 instead of spending 40 on a brand new pair, or
Mhm.
I'll wait for the Bob's coupon or whatever and get like 3 pairs or
Right.
something. But
Right.
other than
we're
that,
doing-
like
we're doing the world a service because we're not even washing. We're not using our resources. We're not using water.
yeah,
Very little power. We don't
Yeah.
have to run a we don't have to run a washing machine every
dude,
day.
I don't shower every day, especially in the winter.
Winter.
That's
oh,
not good for your skin.
No.
Most Americans do, but like that's not good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had a skin problem, and
There's
I've
that,
only once a week in the winter, man.
yeah. I mean, I do too. If like when I work, I
Oh yeah, of course. If you work and get gross, that's
Yeah.
one thing. But I mean, if you're not really disgusting,
Yeah,
like,
you're just hanging out all day.
Yeah.
Just taking it easy.
you definitely don't have to. Less is more, man.
I hear what you mean, man. All right, so should we do side 2?
Side 2.
Side 2, starting
Cheers.
off with raw power. Cheers, man.
Love this tune. It's got that cool like skip groove, like that Stooges.
Yeah. My fucking stylus is dirty.
Like I got stabbed in the head at a Dead Milkman show, and I was still able to go like to the next show.
Yeah.
I had 5 staples put in my head. I still have the scar, and then we'll play shows with younger people too. But it's just cool to see. And if it's a certain style, like extreme metal, you'll get the gamut. You get young bands and old guys and everything in between.
Yeah.
But it's funny because a lot of the younger guys, you hear comments about dad rock and this shit and that shit, and like
What's
you're
wrong with
just like
that?
whatever, man. In 5-10 years, you're gonna be like that shit you're making fun of. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like you better keep it real, man.
Hey,
Cause
so some guys turn into dads.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Then you start listening to rock. Now it's dad rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck off.
But
man.
like, we'll see who's standing. You know what I mean? Who's left?
Yeah.
It's like I haven't been to a high school reunion, right? And I graduated Cumberland High, '89, and I'm gonna go, but it's gonna be like 50. It's gonna be like something like that, or like 75. You know what I mean? It's like you and the last 10 people there looking at each other like, yep, I remember you.
Yeah, there won't be many left.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what
Let's see who's still left.
that's what I'm saying. That's what the music scene right now is like, one of those like the dark ages.
Right.
Is it really going? Like, there's some stuff going on in Olneyville. There's some stuff downtown, but it's not quite as vibrant. A lot of bands skip Providence now.
Yeah. Well,
You have to go up to Boston.
Right?
I'll go up to Boston. I see a show. That's fine.
Right.
Been up, several times in the last year to see stuff up there. It's 45 minutes.
Yeah, no one fucking told me about the fucking Jesus Lizard
Oh,
show.
the Jesus Lizard.
And the
MC50.
Yeah.
MC1. It was just Wayne Kramer, but it was the 50th anniversary of the record Kick Out the Jams,
Right.
and they killed it. They were awesome.
Really?
The sound man kind of dropped the ball a little bit, but that's all right.
Did it sound like this?
It did not sound like this. It
No.
was like the guitar was like, what? Like the one guy that's like the original guy, like they turned him up by the second song, but I was livid, man.
Really?
Yeah, I was like right underneath the soundboard,
Hmm.
and I was like, what the fuck? On the first break. Like,
What did they start
I was
off
like,
with?
turn up the guitar, motherfucker! Ramblin' Rose, they did the whole Kick Out the Jams record.
From the beginning to end?
Yeah, with the intro, they had the intro dubbed, and then came out and like did it along with it, and then kicked out Ramblin' Rose, Kick Out the Jams. I mean, they did pretty much the whole thing.
Damn.
They did Rocket Reducer number 62.
Yeah.
Ramalama Fa Fa Fa. They did Motor City's Burning.
Sorry, my email.
Motor City Burning, Starship, the Sun Ra cover, and they did some cool weird noise stuff in between the songs. Like, they were legit, man. They were studio musicians, and they're the guy from Soundgarden, Kim Thile. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, he was badass, man. They had it was all heavy hitters. It was all pro rock guys.
Wow.
But they like learned it as best they could, and they did it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I only heard about like the anniversary of like a fucking ad on the
Yeah,
computer.
yeah.
And I didn't look into it too much. I saw they were happening in Boston. I was like, oh fuck. Like,
I got to
and
see
they-
it. Like, a friend was sick, and I got a free ticket. She
Nice.
emailed it to me. Like, she was living in Boston now. Like, I didn't think I was going. I woke up that morning, never knew I'd be going to Boston to see the MC50 that night. But it was
Wow.
cool. I got to party with some old buds, other musicians, and it was wicked cool.
That's awesome.
But the Lizard Man, talk about a reunion. That they were sick. All original members. They sound just like the record live. That was sick. David Yao, 57 years old.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I'm sure Wayne Kramer's, pushed, he's in his 60s, but David Yao, 57, still acting like he's 25 or whatever. I mean, I saw the Jesus Lizard in '89 in Providence at the Rocket when, 15 people tops were there.
Shit.
So I saw them on their first tour. Like, I thought I was going to see a Big Black side project, because it was produced by Steve Albini and it had a drum machine, and it was just the EP was out. I don't think Head was even out yet. It's just the first record, Pure.
Shit.
And and I was like, there was this drunk little guy playing pool all night with a denim like shirt, pants, cowboy boots. Like, I thought he was some Fall River freak, you know what I mean? Like, and then like when the Jesus Lizard went on, that guy went up and grabbed the mic and just started like, they were already playing, and then he came out of like, nowhere, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh man, like, holy shit, like, took me a second.
Wow.
And it was brilliant.
And it was David Yao.
And it was David Yao, and he was doing the
Jesus.
same shit. If there were 200 people there, he was like, crowd surfing with nobody. He was like basically jumped off the stage and landed on his head and was just rolling around on the floor. Like, I'm like, whoa, man.
Yeah, that's one of those experiences that
Yeah.
just fucks you up for
Yeah.
You're like, give me more of that.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, like I said, and that was '89. I was, '89. I was 17, 18, turning 18 that summer. But I was probably 17. I think it was still during the school year when I saw it.
Yeah.
I got to see a lot of cool stuff, man. I feel pretty fortunate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't have made that show. I would have been 9.
Yeah, you would have been 9. You can't help when you're born, man. You know, I have friends that got to see, stuff that I didn't get to see, but
Right.
I feel pretty appreciative and lucky
Yeah,
for the stuff I got to see.
You fucking you saw it and you make it too.
Yeah, man.
It's a motherfucker.
This stuff is inspiring,
Yeah.
And when you go out, like I said before, you want to be like shaken awake,
Right.
You want to try and like inspire someone to,
That's what I heard.
be
recently.
alive.
I listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and he
Oh,
was
cool.
talking about how what's his name? No, not Joe Moody. Who's Pryor's old writer? Richard Pryor.
Oh, Richard Pryor's old writer?
Something Moody.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Joe Moody.
Joe Moody is a Providence recording engineer that
Oh,
just
that's how
passed
I'm
away a
thinking
few
of.
years ago.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not thinking.
All right. Well, that's the Joe Moody I know. Maybe it's Joe Moody. Maybe it's another Joe Moody.
Something Moody was talking to him, and he had said something along the lines of like, I don't know what they were talking about, but he said you gotta get out and you gotta get entertained more.
Yeah,
He's like, because that's like where the inspiration comes from.
exactly,
The
man.
more you
Seeing
go
other,
out and seeing people do the shit that you want to do,
yeah,
and
man.
like it fucking touches you, and you just kind of in that moment, the more you want to go back and like start doing that
Yeah.
yourself.
Man, exactly. Back to the Von Ryan Express, man. It was Jeremiah's younger brother, John. And I grew up with them in Cumberland. We were in Cub Scouts together and stuff. So when he started playing music, then we started going to see it. And then, like, when we started Von Ryan Express, we would see Six Finger Satellite play. And then after the gig, we would go to the practice space and, like, smoke some weed and, like, jam for, like, hours.
With the band.
Yeah, we would just like, or me and John even, like we would just, we were just so inspired and psyched after seeing something. We'd be like, fuck going home. Like, what I mean? We'd go to the practice space and then play music for another couple hours and crash out there, on the couch or whatever, and just wake up and split,
Yeah. Was that the parlor?
Before the parlor, we were in the same mill complex in Pawtucket, right off of 95, the Carpet Factory. Vital Remains were in there, like, it was a bunch of bands.
Jam Stage is now?
I don't know if that's where Jam Stage is.
Is it
I'm
that
not
same
sure. By
building?
Schoolhouse Candy. I've never been to Jam Stage. I've heard a lot about it, Rent by the Hour and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
I don't like
I've
it.
always had like spaces in Olneyville or my basement,
Yeah.
Yeah, to spend $20 an hour. I mean, in LA we've done that, when Landon had to play out there.
If you got to prep
Yeah.
for a show and you're already out
Yeah.
there, I mean, that
Yeah.
makes sense. And,
Yeah.
and they do that. Actually, Deer Tick was there recently
Awesome.
because they were getting ready for tour. They all met here because they get
Yeah.
some of the guys.
And like Jam Stage is set up, you got
Right.
amps, you got everything.
Oh, they
drums.
rented the big room.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
The stage.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was just like, I
Yeah.
happened to be there that night. It was jamming with these
Nice.
other
Oh,
guys.
cool.
And I was like, what the fuck's with the tour bus? Like, walk in and like, I
It's
see John
Deer
and Paulie
Tick.
walk by. I'm like,
Whoa.
oh shit. These
That's
guys are here.
so awesome, though.
Yeah, but so actually we were in the room right next to their room, so it's like we could hear them practicing. I was just like, maybe we should shut up for a minute, just listen. Just put your ear to the
That's
wall for a little
cool.
minute.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Because they were prepping for the tour.
Yeah. I remember, practice spaces like Vingy over by the post office.
Mhm.
Do you remember that space? Like,
Yeah.
it's going into the early 2000s, maybe.
You were there.
Yeah, I was there in
Mhm.
1990. I think, 91 maybe. Sourpuss was in there for a hot minute.
Oh yeah.
Because we'd started playing over at Joe's Garage, like the Zappa record. It was Joe Prop's dad's garage, like Route 44, Seekonk.
Yeah.
And we like had the microphone taped to the jack, and I was playing, my bass rig was like a stereo head, my Kenwood stereo
Oh
head.
yeah.
And a 15-inch cab, and like,
Whatever works
You know,
back then.
yeah, Joe had for his drum throne, he had 2 milk crates and a phone book. And it was like the perfect height, and that's what he rocked, man. But like for our first show, he borrowed like the giant metal kit with like the cage and like the double kicks, and like he played that thing like effortlessly, like he had that the whole time. We were like, what the hell?
So weird. All right, man. Hey, I think we're on the last song, so let's.
Yes.
Is this the last song?
This is Death Trip.
This is what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, this
your
is my
song?
favorite one on the record because it's got the real Stooge vibe. It sounds like it could have been on Funhouse or something. It's got that.
My fault.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, I don't. I gotta
Bring
get
it to
that
the
right.
beginning.
Sorry,
It's
man.
got a weird beginning. It's got some cool bass slide shit. And it's almost like the beginning of Loose.
Dropped out so far ago, though.
Yeah. I mean, the mix is just wacky. The whole thing is whacked out.
But even
Like-
so, it's like you shouldn't have. Like, why did the lead drop out that early into the song with like, and they just kind of kept on thundering on, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll never know.
That's
That's
kind
kind
of
of
guys we can ask about it. But
yeah. There's a couple of guys left you could ask about it.
But
You
Yeah.
got to check out that Jim Jarmusch.
yeah.
I think the record's. I think the movie's called Gimme Danger. I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a trailer for it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
telling my brother about it because he was such a big movie buff, and I was just like, "Did you hear about this Jim Jarmusch documentary about the Stooges?" He's just like, "No."
I saw it at the
Was it?
cable car.
How did you not hear about it? You're
Yeah.
the one that's following movies. I heard about
yeah,
it.
yeah. I saw it at the cable car. I saw it and I like kept waiting for the date and it was like to be announced and I'm like, checking the web page to find out when it was coming.
Yeah.
I've been going to the cable. I mean, it's closed now, right?
Yeah.
But I started going there in the '80s when I was a teenager. Take a date there. That's way cooler than the Cumberland Twin. I'll tell you that.
I bet. Yeah. Especially those midnight movies.
Yeah,
right?
the couches and like
Yeah.
go see Taxi Driver or something.
Yeah. If
I
the
don't
movie
know.
sucks, you just move in
Yeah.
and like fucking
Yeah.
go for a kill. I mean, what can you do? But it's gone now, unfortunately. So that's
It is. Remember Paul Vieira worked there a long time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did,
I
man.
worked with him.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You were there too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was cool, man. The
It
guy with
was.
the teddy bear song.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know. I haven't heard about what happened to him. I don't know
Yeah.
where he is now.
No one knows, man.
No. He
There's
was
a lot of guys like that in town, like old sound men. Like you see a picture of them or you hear some story and you're like, "Wow, man,
Yeah.
what happened to him?"
Right. I don't know. And haven't heard anything bad. So
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, that's good.
But I don't know. Hopefully they don't turn up, passed away or anything. Miss out on that information.
Well, man, that was great listening to that record, man.
Thank you, man. I mean, thank you for coming and listening to it because I don't know. It was pretty like fun find.
Hell yeah.
Because I was thinking like, I saw it and I didn't know at the time anything about it as far as like if it was a first pressing or not.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like I gotta get that.
Awesome.
I gotta get that because I gotta listen to it.
Yeah, see what it sounds like. I've heard so many stories and there's been so many mixes of it.
Right.
I'd like to hear the CD of it, of the Iggy version. Maybe he boosted the Asher Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, the songs, like, it doesn't matter. Any mix of this record is cool because the songs are cool,
Right.
And that's the end all of this one.
Yeah.
But, if you want to hear the pure Stooges, man, you definitely, I think Funhouse is like, that's where it's at, man.
Yeah.
That
I was
one's
thinking
like,
about that too.
that one's just, and they re-released that. They did the Funhouse box set. It's like, 33 versions of TVI. It's for the nerds, man. But like, I think I have, some of it or something. Maybe I got some digital files and I didn't grab all of it because who needs all of it?
Right.
But then they did Funhouse with on CD with an extra disc, and then they just had like a few alternate takes and stuff. And that was kind of cool too, because you could kind of see them putting the songs together.
Yeah.
Maybe the ones they did like for the record were you could tell they were really close to it, and they like one more, and then they nailed it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because those songs kind of have a little bit of an improvisational.
I bet.
The Funhouse with the sax and like, there's definitely, all this stuff you can hear it on this record. They're kind of weighing it. You know what I mean? Some of those riffs, like some of those songs are one riff. There's definitely songs with changes too, but
Yeah.
like that last Death Trip song it's one riff. I mean, it's a long riff.
I wasn't paying attention now.
You have to re-listen to it. I don't think it changes,
I think
man. I think it's
you're right.
one riff. I mean, it's a long riff though.
Yeah. Well, it's just a few minutes of fucking
Yeah.
on that fucking.
But I mean, like the measure itself before it turns around and then starts over again is like quite an extension.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, the riff itself is like longer than like a normal. It's not like a 1, 2, 3, 4, four
Yeah.
chords and it's done.
Well, how can you tell if it's just repeating itself?
Well, like where the skip is. It's like ding ding dang ding ding dang ding ding dang ding dang dang ding
Oh, okay.
ding ding. But it's longer than that. That was raw power. It's like yeah, it's kind of like raw power. It's very similar to the raw power riff, but it's in like an extended version of that riff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like goes on twice as long before the before it starts over again.
Yeah.
You know, they always kind of have that weird turnaround.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to it again.
Yeah, I don't think there's any change.
I gotta see if I have that CD still, because I don't think I have it. I don't know if I put it in my computer even. I don't know.
Oh
If I
yeah,
have songs
I
still.
ripped one winter. I ripped all my discs that were rippable to my iTunes
Yeah.
on my Windows XP system
And you
that I
crashed
still
your
have. No, I didn't crash it. The computer, I still use it as my jukebox for like outside because I have like a PA in the basement with a practice space. I got my desktop down there. It doesn't hook up to the internet anymore, but it's still a stable system. So it's
So
like
it plays
basically
music.
like it's a jukebox with a shitload of iTunes on it.
Right.
So like I can just pick a genre and then shuffle and then I got like a barbecue playlist or whatever.
Yeah.
So I still do that with that thing. And again, one winter, it took me like all winter to just every night I did like 2 or 3 discs and just rip my whole collection. Like I said, I have probably 20 crates of records, but I think I have about 500 CDs. I've probably been buying since I was 20. I never bought as many CDs as records. But some stuff, if you see it and you don't, they don't have the record, you just grab the disc.
Yeah.
And I ripped them all onto my computer, but I still have the CDs.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a purist by
For
any
the car,
means.
for the car now,
it's
I
the
have
car
a CD
jams.
player. I mean, I used to have a tape deck in my vehicle, so I rocked my old tapes. I just, pulled out the Tupperware. I still have my tapes from high school.
Yeah.
And they still sound fine, man.
As long as you have tape deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
But same thing with the CDs. Now I have a car with a CD player, so I've been pulling out CDs to listen to.
Right. Well, I sell CDs too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
You got an eBay store?
I was thinking about fucking like tagging it like car jams.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't take the vinyl, fucking take the car jams.
Yeah, and dude, I'll have to make you a CD mix or something, because I make CD mixes like anytime I start a new job. I'm always like, oh, what kind of music you like? Oh, I got some of that stuff. Yeah, I'll burn you that, man.
Burn me this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got a bunch of. I'll make you a Stooges disc of all kinds of, different shit.
yeah, because it's
Some of my
interesting hearing about
favorites.
it. Because I wouldn't buy that
Yeah.
extended edition, because I'm a fan, but I don't. I'm kind of a purist in the regard that I think like, okay, you're putting a record out. The record you put out, that's
They're representative of what it should be.
It's a record.
Yeah.
It's an album. It's going to go down in history as that piece of work. So don't fuck around with it and re-release it with all these additional tracks of either B-sides that didn't make the cut or
because it's always subpar or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it's just like it was cut out for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
why
then once
should we
they're
wanna
dead, they just start putting out anything, man.
Yeah.
Throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, I mean might as well. I mean
And that's why live records don't. A lot of times live records fall short of the real record.
Right. But I am interested in hearing it. So I mean, like if someone were to say, "Hey man, let me put this on for you,"
or I got a CD I burned for you. Put it in the car or whatever. Yeah,
right.
I'll burn you a
because it's
Stooges one like
interesting
that.
as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. For me,
Yeah, it's
maybe
more like
just
a
the cheap
it's more like a historical document, or more like that kind of thing when you go down the internet wormhole and you on Wikipedia or YouTube. You don't have to pay for it, man. You just check it out.
Right.
It's like Alan Lomax style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like
Even
document.
Spotify or whatever.
Yeah,
stream
exactly.
it,
Yeah.
just to hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you want to know what it is, and
Exactly.
I got a lot of shit I missed out on.
Dude, there's a record like that. There's a famous Stooges record like that I do not own for a reason.
Which one?
It's called Metallic KO.
Oh, okay.
And it's a live record, and like you supposedly hear like Iggy Pop getting like knocked out by a Hell's Angel, like in the recording, like he's like being an asshole, baiting the crowd, and then he gets like his ass kicked basically, and you hear it like on vinyl. But like when I say you hear it, like it's a fucking shitty recording.
Right.
It's awful. The quality of it is almost like unlistenable. Like you'd have to, the amount of mushrooms or LSD you'd have to ingest to like make this record like feel like you're there is quite substantial.
Because it sounds like a bootleg.
Yeah, it is a bootleg. That's all it is.
It's just tape from a crowd. Oh.
And it's like it's bad. And
It
there's
sounds
like,
shit.
but like with bands like the Stooges and the MC5, they only put out like 2 or 3 studio records. So what do you got to chase down? You got a bunch of crap. And like you said, is it worth your money? No. But is it worth kind of checking out? Maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't really have too much of that, because I'm not crazy like that, I'm definitely a fan, but I don't like obsess. Like I'm not a record geek or a record nerd,
Just from you saying it though, like bringing it to my mind is just like, oh yeah, like kind of seeing how they hashed out these songs, kind of like how those songs came to be.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
It is cool, man. Like, I have the John Coltrane box set, Atlantic, and you kind of hear that kind of stuff too, with the alternate takes.
Yeah.
They're definitely not as tight as the one that they use, but you can kind of see, like, as a musician, and from playing music, that, like, that's kind of cool too, to get to listen to and see, like, oh, okay. Yeah, he kind of took out this, he tightened up that, they kind of, like, slimlined it, made it more efficient, made it better. It's kind of cool to see.
Right.
It's like watching someone draw or paint or something,
Right.
Kind of like a different way to view it, not necessarily because that's what you want to hear, but maybe that's kind of what you want to experience because you're interested in that art form or something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I'll fucking check it out for sure.
Yeah,
If
man.
you want to make any mix,
Yeah, man, I'll
love
make you a cool mix, man. I love doing that shit. Just put the headphones on and put the laptop up, and I got like 160 gigs of digital files. I have an iPod Classic, and I have my record collection, but then, like I said, I ripped all my discs one winter, which is probably about 500 discs or something, but like a lot of local stuff and stuff that if it didn't come up named, like it wasn't legit,
Oh yeah.
like I just erased it, I just deleted it, because I don't want to go through and like type in stuff analog, like it drives me nuts, man. So there's definitely a lot of cool shit that I have that like part of my collection that isn't on the digital medium, because if it didn't get recognized, then the song titles came out like sorry,
Untitled.
unless it was really something else like had to have, or like I had to like listen to or something. But anyway, I have 160 gigs of like music, digital music to mess around with. My Classic, I could go to anybody's house, plug it in the computer, PC, Mac, whatever, and just drag stuff onto it.
Oh Jesus.
So like when I ripped my 500 discs, that was only like half of it. That was like 80 gigs. So I still had like 80 more gigs to like fill up from friends' music. So like, all right, I have like the first 4 Metallica records on vinyl, like, but I don't have them digitally, but now I do, you know what I mean? Like all the Ramones records that I like, I have the records, but did I have the CDs? No, like I wasn't gonna buy CDs of shit that I already had on vinyl, right? Most of the CDs I have is like, jazz, black metal, death metal, like stuff that like, came out later, you know what I mean? Reggae, dub. I've got a bunch of, I have a handful of awesome dub records, on vinyl too, but I think most of the stuff I ended up, buying that stuff on CD because that's what was available or whatever.
Right. Yeah. It's more cost effective too. Buying fucking vinyl all the time is a little.
It's
little
pricey.
bank, yeah.
Yeah, man. You get a CD for $5, vinyl's like 15, 20, 10 if you're lucky. But back when I was buying vinyl in the 80s, 45s were like $2, and then like any record brand new was like $7, $6.99, $7.99, and then used records, like most of my punk collection, I got it In Your Ear and Tom's Tracks and Fast Forward for like $3, $4.
Nice.
$5 was an expensive used record,
Right. Yeah.
And I built up my collection as a teenager buying used records on Thayer Street,
I bet you got a good one then.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, man. Yeah, you have to come by and flip through the stuff, man.
I get worried about that because then I'm just like, oh shit, this is like too much information, and then I'm like, I could probably just steal, sell all It's like that's
I've never, you know, I've been lucky. I never left Rhode Island, and I never like
You've never
found
just sell your
myself.
collection?
I never did that. I have a lot of friends that had to, and I just always had the shitty job. But like
Right.
I didn't have to do that. I just kept it
Yeah.
going and held on to my stuff. You know, I have Halloween records. I have like a big novelty section of like Salvation Army yard sale stuff that like I would never get rid of. You know what I mean? Like awful scratched Halloween records and stuff. But I mean, I love that stuff because I have like the two Techniques 1200s going. So like, you know, I'll put Slayer on, but with, like some shitty like scratched up like, you know, Halloween record with like witches going like Wah! Like I love playing that together.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, stuff like that.
So you think actually mix them together? Like,
Yeah, because I have a mixer in the middle, and
Oh, that's great.
yeah, I can play like I like doing like King Tubby and Slayer too. Those two sound really good together.
Jesus.
Sounds really wacky.
You ever record any of that, or you just?
I did back when at Red Rum behind Wes's in Olneyville. I had my 8-track going back then,
Yeah.
and I had it all set up, and I used to do that kind of stuff, make mixes,
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
crazy, yeah, crazy dumbed out mixes and like electro clash. But I mean, I'd done really amateurly and like put like thrash metal and reggae, dub reggae together.
Weird. That's
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was really weird because it was like fast, but then like with slow beats and like, you know, it was definitely fun, man.
Yeah.
Those two combinations, I don't know, it's like Reese's peanut butter cup, you know. You got your chocolate stuck in my peanut butter. You got your peanut butter stuck in my chocolate. You know, like those old commercials.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember those, but when I was a kid, those were the best commercials. It'd be like the bike accident, you know, like.
Yeah. That's awesome. I hear what you mean, man. So, I don't know. I guess we should fucking wrap this bitch up, huh?
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me, James.
Hey, thanks for coming, and thanks for listening to the record. What'd you think overall, huh?
I thought it sounded great, man.
Yeah.
I mean, original mix, you know, all the controversy, whatever, man. The songs are there, man, and it's cool stuff. It's classic. It's legendary, you know, and it will remain that, you know, as you know, all the music that comes after, you know, all this pop music going on now and radio stuff, like it just can't hold a torch to any of this stuff, you know.
Right. I hear you, man.
And that's what's cool, that it's like old, you know, it's 73.
Right.
I mean, that's like 45 years old, right?
Yeah, you do the
2018.
math. I'm horrible at it.
I only know because I was born in 71.
Oh, okay.
So 73 is easy for me.
Yeah,
I
there you
just
go.
take it away too, man.
Yeah.
But man, that's crazy. That record's 45 years old, and it's kind of ahead of its you know, there are people still trying to catch up to that.
Right.
And
I
they
mean,
probably won't.
It just never will be what it was. Just
Yeah.
never. I mean, because that's the thing, as I was saying earlier to you, is like, if you didn't know this, how would you make it?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you just have to fucking be Iggy and be just wanting to do that to yourself and to put yourself out there like that to do
man.
what they did, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's just like, now it's just like, oh well, he's just copying Iggy.
Yeah, exactly. I know, and that's
Because
the
there
thing.
are great bands.
I
out
know.
there, you
And then you say, you know what though? There are people that definitely just copy him, but then there are people that are carrying the torch, man.
it's just
you
what
know?
they do.
Yeah.
It's just they hear the music and that's
Yeah.
what they do. You know.
Yeah. I would hate to be like, you know, to come off as some like, you know, oh, that guy is copying Iggy. That would suck. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think that
Yeah, that's the thing
people
though.
would say that about
That's
you.
the thing, and yeah, because like, you know,
Because you're a crazy motherfucker. He was a crazy motherfucker too, but
Yeah.
he was different.
you
He
just
do
try
it
to put
different.
your own spin on it. You know what I mean? You
Right.
can't like, yeah, what comes before, you have to tip your hat and, you know it's there and respect it and love it and know that it influenced you. But hopefully you can find your own voice and your own thing and not just be a blatant ripoff. Because
Right.
that stuff usually just comes across hokey.
I agree. I mean,
It's like, you know,
I wouldn't. You know, I
Yeah.
would never. I don't even like buy new music really.
yeah.
I mean, there's.
I mean, but it's funny though, because there's plenty of awesome new bands, man,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
But it's hard to find them, you know? Or
It's
you
true.
see them
Yeah.
live and you're like, wow, you know the difference when like, you know, the opening act is kind of like someone just trying to do what the headliner does.
Right. Well, the time I was buying music the most was when I was going out to seeing it all the time.
Yeah.
So
Because
if
that's
I'm not
inspirational
going out
back,
to seeing
like
it, then
you
I'm
said.
not buying it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I don't want to have to go to the record store. I don't want to have to go
Yeah.
online.
You see the band and you just buy it. Like, wow, that was so
Yeah.
good. You want to buy the record.
And cause then that helps them.
Yeah. On
It's
tour.
like anytime a band's coming through,
Hell
you
yeah.
buy the record.
You know how many
if you want
times
it.
I've been on that side of the fucking
Of
stick?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I felt
great.
really bad. Like the last show I went to of the record I wanted to buy was from Ted Leo.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Recently.
Yeah, yeah.
His new record. And I didn't have the money.
Ah, man, that's a bummer. Yeah.
I know, and I'm just like, I specifically said, like, I want to buy the record, but I want to buy it.
Yeah, he's a
when I go.
talented guy.
Yeah.
His brother Danny's cool too, man.
Yeah, Boston guy, right?
No, he used to live in Providence. He went to RISD
Danny?
with
His brother.
Danny Leo. I don't know where he lives now. I don't think it's Boston. It's further away. But yeah, he was buds with Sean and Joel and
Oh, all right.
used to play and share bills together and hang out.
Yeah.
I know him. I don't know Ted as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm more of acquaintance.
I know he lives in Rhode Island too.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
lives down south from here.
Yep. But yeah, Danny's cool. He's a wicked musician too, man.
Yeah,
Drummer.
all right.
Real, energetic drummer.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know what he does. Like, I've never seen any of his bands.
I think he was in a band, Radio to Saturn. Remember that band?
No.
I think he might have been in that band. He's done some awesome shit.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah. Ted's younger brother.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, hey, so thank you for coming. Thank you for
Thanks,
listening
James.
to the
Hell
record.
yeah, man. Right on.
We'll do it again sometime.
I hope so, man.
Let me know what you want me to look out for, and I'll fucking
All right.
bring it out.
Right on. That
If I
sounds
find
good,
it, I'll
man.
try to buy it, and I was gonna say that too. Is actually like, yeah, I sell the records.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sell this record.
Oh yeah. You buy and sell. You have an eBay store?
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's going pretty well. So, I'm hyping it up and doing this at the same time,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is fun because we can listen to a fucking cool record.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
But I'm hoping to get other newer, cooler stuff. Not
Yeah.
necessarily newer, but I mean like
Yeah,
something
Different. Yeah.
and just something that's like kind of like interesting to listen to. Like
Yeah.
I'd love some of the original master stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just to try to listen
yeah,
to it on vinyl,
yeah.
see what it sounds like.
Yeah. See how different it is than what they're
Yeah.
doing, the remixes or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, man. I could definitely. You got to come over and pull out some stuff that you'd want to check out.
Yeah.
I'd be up for that, man.
Okay.
I have a lot of old stuff, original pressings, like 80s stuff, underground stuff and post-punk and
Yeah.
punk rock stuff.
I'm
that's-
sure you got it. All that
Yeah.
digging you did back in the day.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I bought when I was a teenager for a few bucks that worth some money that I never even realized.
Yeah.
They were just the records I bought when I was a kid.
Right.
But they were they only made 500 of them or something. That Steve Albini record, the Rape Man record, or the first Shellac records.
Oh, really?
Familiar with any of that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some of that?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I got the
shit.
first, it was funny because when I started playing with the Hot Knives guys, they were all into that stuff and Six Finger Satellite and, they practiced in the parlor after those guys had already sold it and moved away.
Yeah.
But they were younger guys and they never saw those bands live or anything, the Lizard, any of that stuff, right? So they were in awe of it, whatever. And then I ended up being their vocalist, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I recorded a demo with them. We
Oh.
put it up on Bandcamp. I have to play it for you.
Not on a label, like you didn't.
No,
press
it never got put out. We only played 2 shows, and then the band, kind of people moved away, and
Right.
but now 2 members form the Hammer Party.
Yeah.
What I'm currently doing.
That reminds me. So where can people find the music that you've made? Because you have so many bands. I mean, just kind of search
Yeah.
my band.
Yeah, you can just search it. If you type it in on YouTube, I think there's footage of all of them.
Yeah.
From Vincibus Eruptum,
What about getting
Fuzz.
the record?
You'd have to most of them are load records.
Oh, okay.
Most of them are on load, and then there's some stuff on Bandcamp. This stuff.
Yeah. And you can download it, you can buy it. And
Yeah,
download it.
you know what the FMU? You know that site? There's a music archive on WFMU out of New Jersey,
No.
or in the New York line,
Radio station?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
and they have basically a Providence archive,
Really?
and it's all underground Providence stuff. I think most of my bands are on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's just a free streaming
Yeah.
service.
It's pretty cool. Check it out. Jason Signal.
All right.
He was a DJ back in the early 2000s, and he got that going. And it's like a bunch of like Olneyville stuff, a bunch of Providence underground.
Nice.
I think at least a half a dozen of my bands are on there.
At least.
I
Of the
think.
dozen plus that you're opinion.
But you know, we're talking about, you know, almost 30 years of fucking rocking out.
Yeah.
So
No, I know. I hear
you
you.
know,
Man.
it's just every few years switch it up. You know, people move away. It's fun. I've gotten to play a lot of reunions with a lot of my bands and projects.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also, most recently, you're going to be doing New York with
Yeah.
the OCs.
Yes, landed October 18 and 19
18th and
at
19th.
Warsaw in Brooklyn.
Yeah. And it's
Polish
already sold
American
out,
Club.
though, so
Well,
people just have
I
to have
think
tickets.
I know Friday night sold out. I think Thursday you might be able to
Okay.
might be open Thursday.
Well, if you want to like give me links, I'll put links up.
Oh, that'd be great,
Of
man.
course, yeah.
Awesome.
And if anyone's watching this and they fucking know who you are and want to come see those,
Right
those
on, that'd be
reviews,
cool. The OC's are big news, and
yeah.
they sell out New York. Last year, OSS opened up for them on 9/11.
Oh shit.
They played 2 shows, and then their third show was they played 2 shows at Warsaw. I think La Machine or Oceans of the Moon, Rick Pelletier's
Oh,
band.
okay. Yeah.
They opened up one of the nights, I think, and then we got to do the last show. But they sold out 3 gigs in New York City,
Nice.
and they do that every year, I guess. I mean, that's pretty wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so psyched for John, man. He works hard and
Yeah.
they kill it. They have 2 drummers, and they stomp it out, and everyone's there rocking out pretty hard.
Nice.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
What do you think about the records? Just as good, like
Yeah, oh definitely. The newest one is pretty heavy. It's like, you know, I mean, they kind of do the garage rock thing, you know, psychedelic garage rock, but like the new one's even heavier than what you'd expect from that style.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all cool,
Right.
but the new one's definitely a little different.
That sounds great, man.
Yeah,
Well,
man,
I'd
I'm
love
excited to
check it
play
out.
with them. Yeah, you gotta hear it. Yeah, check it out.
All right, I will.
All right, cool, James.
And people can check you out too and check out this record.
Check
and
it out. Out.
Come back and check everything out.
All right.
We're gonna be here drinking fucking rye. Cheers. Damn, we did 2 hours, yo.
No way. Really?
Almost 2 hours.
That was 2 hours, dude. It went by so fast.